Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Hello. Lilo. Amazing. Hilarious. Fantastic. Noosh. What should I call you?
Nooshin.
Nooshin?
Yeah.
Oh, nice to meet you. What is this? My head just exploded.
Actually, I like to be a photographer. I did in some part of my life. I studied photography. I had some courses at universities, some semesters I had photography, and I really enjoyed it. So for me, even taking a photo of like my daughter or my cat is something serious for me. It is not just recording that moment, documenting that moment. It is I look at it as creating a piece stays like that. Even it's my cat, and even it is just, I mean, the only person that's going to see it myself. But I want to, when I take a photo, usually I do think not just capturing that moment. It is important. It is capturing the moment, but for me, it also brings the emotion along that moment and all the measurement of like visual elements in the photo when I take a photo, because I'm an artist. I think that way.
I'm in the padded room. I'm in the padded cell. Why am I in a padded cell? Because I can't get out here unless I get 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe to the podcast, and then maybe they'll let me out. And to celebrate, I'll eat a whole Carolina Reaper and film it so you can laugh at me. So please, subscribe, share. Help me get out of this padded cell. Mission. Perfect. Okay. I am very loud. Hopefully the neighbors will hear me.
It's
or
okay.
Maybe not. It's okay. It's fine.
I hope I'm not so quiet.
No, you're fine. You're perfect. And your last name is, how do I say it? Mobasseri?
Mobasseri.
Mobasseri.
Yeah.
Mobasseri. What does it mean?
Like the person can see behind the surface, have like wisdom and
wow.
bright,
Wow.
and things like that.
Wow. And Nooshin means
sweet drink or wine.
Okay, nice. Awesome.
Actually, my Nooshin is my nickname.
Okay.
Everybody calls me Nooshin, except at university, first day of school or university, the professors or teachers, they call me Mariam. My name in passport and ID is Mariam.
Okay.
Because I was born premature and my mother didn't like Nooshin. My sister name is Shirin, the same meaning.
Okay.
And so I was in hospital for 3.5 months. Then the nurses named me.
You were premature 3.5 months? No.
Yeah, 6 months. I was 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was 6 months.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Tiny baby.
Yeah. And imagine it was almost 45 years ago. My dad always says, when he was disappointed at me, like I didn't achieve the things here, I could have bought a house. Okay.
This is a podcast. This is audio in the sound. What's really neat about recording at people's places is that the stuff comes out. The stuff comes forward. What isn't recording, what isn't making it into the audio is we're in this area of Hong Kong called Aberdeen. I rode the motorcycle, parked the motorcycle, walked through You say, okay, go and get a sampan, which is a small kind of ferry boat, tiny. Hop on. I say to the woman, row number 4. She doesn't speak any English. Fine. Chug along in this diesel kind of engine. Chug, chug, chug. Surrounded here by all of these houseboats and some very, very expensive race boats and sailboats and catamarans. And okay, you welcome me into your home because you live on this houseboat. It's beautiful. It's this massive thing. We're sitting and talking, and as we're talking, I'm getting the very gentle vertigo of the fact that this house of ours, this room where we're sitting, which is amazing with the wood and, it's a beautiful place, is shifting left and right. Okay, right. So that's the environment of our recording. We're sitting at a table. We're drinking really nice coffee. Thank you. What I want the listener to get is a feeling for who I see. We're just meeting for the first time. So you're just looking at me like, who is this freak? What's he going to do? What's he going to say? Okay, so you have the most amazing smile. You have a beautiful smile. Your face radiates.
Thank you very much.
This is great. This is good. When I got on the boat, I was just like, and your artwork's around us, which is really nice. And let's dive in because I will get to know you, and I am fascinated. This is great. Well, we're going to dive into your art. For the listeners, I know your accent is, but for the listeners, how would you describe your accent?
Farsi.
Farsi.
Farsi
right.
accent.
So where were you born?
I was born in Tehran, Iran.
In Tehran, okay, in Iran, okay.
And I left Iran 2009. So I grew up there. I went to university.
Okay.
Yeah. I left Iran the day I handed my thesis for master.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the night I had the flight.
And then you left?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't look back.
I went back once in 2015.
15, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is your family all in Tehran or is it outside?
Tehran, my parents, they are between Iran, Malaysia, Turkey.
Wow.
And my brothers, they are out of Iran. My sister and my aunts, uncles.
Okay, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Two brothers. They are younger than me. They live in Australia.
Oh, wow.
And one sister older than me. She's in Iran.
Okay. By sharing your personal history and how you became you, people get to know you, of course, but I'm of the school of thought that everything informs, certainly, like, so some people think that when you make a photo, when you trip the shutter, that all of your experience in life up to that moment informs you clicking, right? Even if you're clicking like 200 frames per minute, whatever. But yeah, so all of this shapes who you are, and it comes out through your art. And how do you describe yourself as an artist?
I describe myself hardworking.
Okay.
Prolific, yeah.
A what?
Prolific.
Prolific.
Yes.
Okay.
And I sometimes selfish in making art. I mean, I call myself, I'm a little bit selfish because I don't do anything else.
Sure.
I mean, I should have done something else, but
Right.
I'm doing that instead.
Did you study art in the university?
Yes, I study art.
What area of art? So
fine art.
Oh, fine art. But
Yeah.
painting,
yeah,
sculpture?
paintings.
Okay.
Both master, bachelor and master. I mean, when I make art in general, I am like so devoted to it. I think all artists are similar, and you can keep track of time, or there are a lot of things on my list I have to do during day, and then none of them been completed by the time I finish that piece. Or as an artist, I mean, my mind is racing, but my body and my physical, abilities is not reaching the speed of my mind.
Sure.
It is slower, and then that is also irritating for me.
Okay.
Because I can't produce what I'm thinking.
Okay.
And always I'm thinking something like higher or faster or a lot of things. Like, for example, when I'm making art, I see things like 3D before making them 2D.
Okay.
But I'm able to make them 2D, for example.
Right.
And I have millions of ideas, but that makes me a little bit overwhelmed because I can't achieve what I'm thinking about. Maybe it is not practical, but it is how my brain works.
It's just how you operate. Yeah. No, I got it. Shall we jump into the first image?
Yes, first image.
You're kind of not sure because you sent me the images and you said I don't remember which ones you sent, and you asked me. Did you ask me?
I have them here too. I can.
No, I know that we're surrounded by your art, but I like the idea that you send me something and you don't remember
because I have many images.
Of course, but then what it is that what I tell people is that when you send me the images, you're curating, like you're shaping what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that we always talk about what the person sent to me after the fact. So 1 day, 1 week, 1 month later. Okay, but the images are a snapshot of what you were thinking a month ago, a week ago, whatever. And now we get to go back to it and say, well, what connections can we make?
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah, I am. But the thing is, all my images, I mean, the story behind them is similar. And it is my work. And I mean, even at the last moment, I switched to another work.
Yeah.
So I would rather we talk about this piece. It still is my work.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will learn in between the lines, we will learn all about you and how you work. It's great. So I don't look at the images.
Okay.
I really make a point of not looking until we sit with the person so I can react on the spot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
so as we speak, a sampan, one of the boats, is like chugging along behind
I can
us.
close the door.
No, I adds color. Maybe it'll be terrible, but I like it.
It would be back.
It's okay lah. It's okay lah. Yeah. So this is. So let me. Do you want to describe what a viewer sees?
You do.
The image is. It looks like it could have been made as a digital image. In that, so first of all, the field is all black with a grid of white dots, and like each dot is on the corner of say the X and Y plane. But there's it's basically one of those pointed grids that people could practice their writing on or whatever. Now, what dominates the imagery is a face. Is that your face?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a face that's been rendered. Well, nice red lipstick, tongue sticking out, hair looking long and brown. The palette is very simple. It's very not simple, but reduced. So the skin is all white. It's all white. The outlines are in black, and then that's within a sort of a circle. And around that circle are these fractured images that look like ribbons. There's a pig on the left. There's some like a kind of a checkerboard with some color on the bottom. There's a pig on the right as well. Okay, it's neat. It's kind of it almost looks like the you in the image are wearing a crown. So. The first question I have to ask is, was this created digitally or was this created as a painting and is a photo of the painting?
It was a drawing.
Okay.
Pen on archival paper, 300 gram archival paper.
Oh, okay.
And then I scan it and then manipulate it in Procreate.
Okay.
And made it digital artwork.
Right.
And I have for all of my work... until this point, you saw the pictures I sent you. I have physical artwork, actually.
Okay.
But I changed them a little bit in Procreate or Photoshop because I wanted to sell them or exhibit them as a digital copy.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like that. And So that is, yes, this is my portrait.
Yeah.
And sticking out my tongue, and in response to a couple of years ago, maybe not couple of years ago, maybe 4 years ago, it was a rumor spreading in Iran, eating ice cream for women is forbidden because of it is very suggestive act.
Licking an ice cream cone is suggestive of sucking a cock.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it was that time I started drawing that, and then also at the same time I started series Animal Farm, a little bit
Right.
International thing, because before that period all my work, they were more related, very personal, like our artists,
Sure.
but related more to Iran and the event, the thing happened in Iran, and to me and my family in Iran. And then, but I wanted audience understand more about the politics behind the work, and
Right.
I found that Animal Farm is a good fit for my artwork, actually.
Right. The story Animal Farm.
Yes.
Orwell. Got it.
Yeah, and then so I use the characters in my painting after this point.
Okay. Okay.
And then so the pigs are from Animal Farm.
Sure.
And then those pattern around it, actually they are cancer cells, under microscope image of cancer cells.
Yeah.
And I've been always amused with the pattern, and in all of my artworks also I play with pattern a lot.
Sure.
And it is not just decorative. It is, for me, each pattern has a meaning.
Absolutely.
And has a purpose to be there, not just for beauty of it.
Right.
And one of the things I do in my artwork is I customize a dark message
Okay.
with color and pattern,
Okay.
and give it back to my audience.
Okay.
And they don't get it is very dark when I do that.
Yeah.
But the meaning, for instance, here for me is a very controlling government in Iran.
Yeah.
And how they control everybody, including women, and how everything is under their power and in the name of religion. So this whole thing for me is that. But as you see with the color, bright color, that turquoise blue color around it is coming very in all Persian, Iranian mosques. You can see all the tiles.
Sure.
In my grandmother yard, we had like something like a small, like a pool, not pool, like a fountain.
Right.
Yeah, and it was all like blue tile,
blue
like
and white,
that.
yeah.
And then it is very common in Iranian culture having that. Yeah, that was the thing. And then when I work on this digitally like that, actually it was advertisement. And
Okay.
it was an ice cream Iranian brand in Iran. And the woman it was a woman in advertisement and starting having ice cream. And it was a ridiculous advertisement. I have to say, well, she didn't need to do this and that for having ice cream.
Sure.
But that brought up the same conversation, and they banned that ad in Iran, and then that caused everybody went to buy that.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Because people in Iran, most of people, majority, they are against the regime, and they do what
the opposite.
Opposite.
Yeah.
So that was the time I started working.
Okay. Okay, so again, I mentioned before, we're sitting in your place. The house is pitching slightly. We're surrounded by some of your art. Okay, so on the left, there are 3 frame artworks. The largest one is very colorful. It's essentially there's a circle with this radiation of some noticeable, definitely patterns, but also some noticeable faces or pictorial sort of elements. The center is of a female face. And then to the right of that, I can't see very well. It's two framed works that are basically white and black. I can't really, maybe my eyesight's bad, but I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. And on the right, we have one very large framed piece. It looks like it's mixed media. Some lettering in what looks like Arabic script.
Farsi.
It's Farsi? Okay.
Oh, I mean, the alphabet is similar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's, again, super, super colorful. Oh, and there's a face again, looking straight at the viewer. Okay, so let's go back to your piece. So, your art is motivated by, I don't want to say dark themes or dark or serious ideas. I mean, all artists have serious ideas, but this particular piece that I'm just explaining to me has an anchor that's very much in Iran, that is political, is a protest. How much of your work would you say ends up kind of having this feeling?
A lot of it. maybe 90% of it.
Okay.
But right now I am making some digital artwork. It's still, I mean, it is about women, and it is not that uplifting, but that 10% is, I think, happier theme.
Mm-hmm.
But most of my artwork, especially when I left Iran, I was thinking about when as an artist in Iran, I mean, you can create a lot of great arts. Most of my friends, they do, and they are great artists. But some of the topics you can't talk very clearly about it. And then when I left Iran, I thought, oh, that is a good time now. Whatever I couldn't point it directly, now I pointed them, and then so it was why it happened. But I create at the same time. I create some arts, like that 10% I said. They are not political. They are more personal.
Sure.
And they are kind of like therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
So that is that 10%. Even I start like having making calligraphy pieces. I start revisiting some of my old style and things. When I was student at the university, I left it there, and then I like for example this abstract artwork you said.
Yeah.
This all the background, I did the same thing I used to do at the university for making abstract art. But then I brought the figures and the things on top. I do this kind of work when I need some relaxed time or therapy, or my mind needs some rest, or
Let's move on to the next photo. The conversation will continue, and I think all of your methodology and these important themes are obviously going to come out. Okay. Look at that. Do you know this piece?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, so this one, what's emerging is there's definitely some continuity in your work. Female looking, in this case, looking again straight on, only she's looking up. I was going to say, all of your female figures tend to look at the viewer, but in this case, she's looking straight up. Again, the skin is rendered as quite pale, not totally white. There's a little bit of peach and all this stuff. Is this your face as well?
Yes.
Very photogenic, very nice. So there's an aura around the hair, but just outside of the hair is an aura of this checkerboard pattern, but it's got more color to it. Whereas before it was more white and black. This one has a lot more reds and blues and some yellow and some. What's clear to me is that you have training in color theory and in art like that. This is not self-taught. Like you're clearly heaven guided into how you create your artwork. There's a lot of geometric pattern, and I'm also catching on the left is the scene of two deer sitting on this kind of grass, or jumping or sitting on this grass. The structure of the form seems to be something almost like a tree, in which are like these main branches or something at the bottom, and there's some roses, there's some more abstract figures. There's something that looks a bit like an octopus kind of in the hair on the top. And then there's more of a web kind of looking up on the right. If this is all sounding extremely chaotic, I invite the listener to check out the website or the YouTube or whatever to actually see the images. Because I'll just let the boat go by. No, it's okay, La. We'll leave it open. It's great. It adds color. I love it. I like that you're whispering. You don't want to make me. Do you want me close? No, it's great. It's great. Are you cold? Are you good?
No,
you're good.
Okay. I'm good. It is my.
It's okay.
Habit. Sorry, I do that.
We're in your own home. You do what you like.
I know, but
Have
I mean,
coffee.
it is not a very
it's totally
relaxed.
Cool.
I always.
It's totally cool. It's fine. So for the art, for the image, okay. I've described what it looks like. How does this relate to the previous one? What is this? What is the? Some artwork just sits there with that where you don't need to explain it, right?
Yes.
Like, okay. In this case, and because of how I see you and experience you, obviously the meaning is deeply saturated into it. So what is going on here?
Here, actually, this is very. The thing was, I usually don't think about what I'm doing. I start usually I start from center, and most of the time I don't sketch before at all.
Okay.
But these portraits of myself, I did just a line drawing with the pencil, my face, because I wanted to be a little bit more accurate. But in most of the time, I don't sketch at all.
Okay.
For my work. So in this piece, when I start, I just took a photo of myself and in different position looking up. And it is actually, you're right, it is one of the few, maybe the only one I am not looking, or the main figure is not looking at the audience, because I love when I mean, it is my method to how engage the audience to look at their eyes.
Right.
In my paintings, or every figure, if you see, there are. Oh no, that one also. It's this. Maybe I said few. That one also is not looking.
It's still face on, but the eyes are looking to the left.
Yeah. But most of my art, I will show you later. Some of them, if you have time, they are looking at. Audience, and because for me, eyes are the most important part of the face, and you can see the soul, the expression, everything.
The boat's gonna have to let the boat go by. Hey, ciao! Hey, ciao! Bye! Okay.
Today's traffic.
No, it's great. It's awesome. I love it. Okay, so most of the time, so one of the things I'm going to interrupt quickly is that. As an illustration, if somebody were to look at this as an ad piece, and it could be like it's that perfect visual creation that looks, in terms of the expression, is so well crafted, and it's so endearing, and it's so it definitely pulls you in, right? And so you're saying that this is different because the eyes aren't looking at the viewer.
Yes.
Okay, so go back to that before the boat interrupted you. What is happening?
First, when I start that, I just wanted to draw myself in that position and looking up, and it was challenging for me to make it nice and very realistic. It is not realistic, or it is realistic and not realistic. About my work is the style is like that, but then as I continued, I developed the drawing around the head and what is going on in my head is actually similar to what is going on there, and
Yeah.
it is like a puzzle. I told you about how it's like a puzzle
Yeah.
around me, and how I'm thinking is similar to that. But that was, I think, from a period of my life I was happy here. So because you can get it from that piece. Even the black and white piece
Yeah.
seems very happy and
Right.
uplifting.
Sure.
Because of the motifs I use, those deers is actually I use from the carpet,
Okay.
the Persian
Right.
carpet, and
Right.
then there is other side is birds, and so and roses, and all these motifs are like symbol of life.
Yeah.
And celebrating
Are they
life.
classical sort of Persian motifs, or?
Yes, they are. I mean, you can see in a lot of carpets, in a lot of miniatures as well.
Yeah.
You can see that. But that particular one, I can't remember which. We have different types of carpets. I
Okay.
can't remember which one was that. And I'm not so good at like seeing the carpet and say, oh, that is the carpet from
Oh,
that
yeah.
that city or that
Right.
name, brand, or
Right.
whatever. So
I love that I'm in your house where you're showing me your art. I'm suddenly awakened to the idea of carpets in Iran are geographically anchored. Like that city, that's the illustration style of that's
yeah, different style. Like Tabriz carpets are very different from
Wow.
Mashhad carpet.
Okay.
And people, they are into carpet. They look at carpet and say, oh, that is Tabriz, that is
Amazing.
Kashan, that is Mashhad,
Okay.
that
Okay.
is Qom. But I never be into carpet that much.
Yeah.
And also we have Gabe too. Gabe, I'm not sure if you know.
Assume I'm an
It's
idiot.
nomad people. They
Okay.
make those,
Right.
and it is actually. I suggest you to look up and
Okay.
see the Gabe.
Sure.
So that is about my art, and the pattern again. Those webs around head, they are again cancer cells.
Oh, wow.
And,
A light image for children. Just as a kind of joke. No, listen. But there is a brightness to the image, and there's a kind of darkness when you explain it. Oh, those are cancer cells. Okay, so a cancer cell, how does that work? It's the sort of the norm of the body that suddenly mutates, goes haywire, and actively becomes toxic within its own space.
yes.
Okay, so the previous image was political and a kind of not when you look at it, it's not, because it's playful. The pigs, I don't immediately think Animal Farm, but once you say it, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. And then you explain that it's in response to this sort of ridiculous premise of women not being able to eat ice cream. So, is there that kind of dynamic happening in this piece, in this image here, or
this one for me it wasn't. It is not that political actually, but it is in terms of message. It is life, celebrating life, and you know everybody in their body they have cancer cells,
Yeah.
but their body rejected.
Yeah.
You know, the fight for it, and what happened in some people it start growing and growing, and the idea of, I mean, I studied nursing 2 years
Okay.
before studying painting.
okay,
So I always been very fascinated with anatomy, with microscopic image of everything,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah,
And that time my aunt also was diagnosed with brain tumor,
Oh, wow.
metastasized from breast cancer.
oh wow,
And then that was the thing I started using those I mean, I started using them more in my work, and because my aunt was fighting, and she fought at 8 years, and I think she did a great job, and unfortunately she passed away at the end. But for me, it is not a dark message. It is still celebrating, and so it is why I use this pattern. And another thing, I also last year I got diagnosed with breast cancer myself. So yeah, and then that was kind of like for me why I use this all the time. And when it happened for myself, actually last year on the 13th of November, my doctor told me it was cancer. So after surgery, and that was another thing. I mean, now I get it why I use them, and why I'm continuing to use them. And it is why I do some other works right now, because I need some quiet time and therapy for myself. I started calligraphy. I started working on square, colorful square patches.
Okay.
And I made, like, when I was in therapy, I made like 10 pieces of that when I was receiving my therapy.
So are you clear of the cancer? So you got treated in Hong Kong during COVID?
Yeah.
What a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you're better.
Thank you.
Happy you're good.
Me too.
Shall we move on to the next image?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Why not?
Oh, that one is my favorite.
Oh, great! So this image...
Oh, sorry, I moved that.
How dare you move in your own house? Listen, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Look, it's fine. Okay, so this image is very similar to the first image in the sense that you have, again, the field, which is basically the black with the white dots, creating that grid. I think the orientation of the grid in the previous one was like vertical and horizontal, whereas this one seems to be kind of rotated 90 degrees. So it's, maybe I'm just kind of imagining things. But
45 degrees.
45 degrees. Thank you. I like it. You're a pain in the ass. I like it. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's great.
In Farsi, I am more. But
How do you say it in Farsi? You're a pain in the ass in Farsi. Say it to me. Say it, because I'm a pain in the ass. Say, Ran, you're a pain in the ass.
No, I can't.
Come
In
on.
Farsi, we are very polite. We don't say
Yalla, come on, do it, please.
That's Arabic.
I know, but sorry, that's all I know. That's all I know. How do you say you're such an idiot in Farsi?
خیلی احمقی.
Ehli ahmari.
خیلی
Ahmar.
احمق. خیلی احمقی.
Does that mean donkey?
Ahmaq?
Yeah.
No, the person doesn't have. I don't know. Ahmaq is Arabic, actually.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know it.
In
It's
Arabic,
Ahmaq. It's without thought.
Okay, without thought. Yes.
You're.
My parents are from Morocco.
Oh,
But
nice.
and then they'd call me Yahmar, which means
Ahmar, no.
No,
Ahmaq.
No, but I'm saying in Arabic, Yahmar is you idiot,
Yeah.
which means it's a donkey.
Oh, okay.
So it's slightly not the
Okay.
same. But enough about that. In the image, so what it is again, this is you.
Yes.
Okay, so there's similar to the first image. There's the illustration of a face. The face is looked on instead of face on. It's at a 45-degree angle. Large eyes, red lipstick, nose sticking out the tongue. Just looking at the viewer, and cut off at the shoulders, whereas before it was just the neck, whereas now you can see the neck and the shoulders, and it's on a kind of a cream coffee background with illustrations of, it looks like a cherub or something on the left, or some weird boy thing holding something up, and then behind, I'd hazard a guess, bushes that are made out of cancer cells. I don't know. And then there's
No, there are bushes.
there are bushes. You're breaking my balls. Okay, and then on the right, we've got an older figure in a tutu holding what looks like an older figure in a tutu, kind of standing there. And then behind, it's like a road or a path with looks like could be planetary things or circles that go off into a kind of horizon. But at the point where the horizon would be is this flying star-like thing.
Yes.
This is, you said, your favorite, or one of your favorites.
Yes.
Okay, so how old is this particular piece?
Yeah, the reason I said
Take a moment. An extremely expensive yacht is passing us by.
Okay.
Jeez Louise, this yacht
Yeah,
are
I know.
insane.
We just get the wave.
Right. When
Then-
you sleep, does it wake you up?
No, actually, that is good. It is like,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Something the listeners cannot possibly understand. So what are you doing right now?
I am trying to find out when I did that work.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you the size of the
Oh, okay,
artwork.
okay.
That is, my daughter is working on that piece.
Okay.
Will
So
help me to.
oh, that's great. So yes, so the size of the illustration, I did not realize it was so big. Like it looks like it's about a good 1.5 meters wide.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It is 1 meter by 1 meter.
1 meter by 1 meter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very
It
cool.
is.
Oh, and so this is in pen that you work, or
Yes,
in
pen on archival paper,
Okay.
300 gram archival paper, and the origin. I mean, it is black and white. I
Yeah.
didn't add any color.
Oh,
to it.
okay. Okay.
And
And it's digitized for this
yes,
image. Okay. Got it.
I did it because I put it as NFT. It is why I did. that.
Okay. So, wait. First of all, let's stop this because it's distracting me a little bit. But, okay. So, this is a digital image
Yes.
that...
Yes.
Okay. So, now talk to me about... I didn't know this was where the conversation was going to go. So, now we're going to dive into the world of NFTs.
Oh my god.
Hey, it's you who did it, not me. so do tell, explain what's going on.
Okay, just I am googling the name in English.
Take your time.
Okay, yeah, it was right. Okay, this is when it was Comet.
The comet? Yeah.
It was the same time it was 2-3 years ago.
Okay. So that's what's at the top of the
Yes.
of the image. It's
Yeah, and then also it was a protest in Iran the same time, and government killed a lot of protesters, and
Wow.
and that was I again took a photo of myself with the shocking expression, looking at the camera, and that was the same time, and I use as a reference or the image, and I didn't draw with pencil. I think I started everything like that. And then for me is the composition in all of my work. If you look, even the abstract one, the composition is very important for me to how to center things.
For sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
not center, I mean, arrange things.
Yeah.
And then the trees and the figures on background, they are from Shahnameh.
Okay.
And the great book Shahnameh, and then it is by Ferdowsi. I don't know if you know Ferdowsi.
Again, assume I'm an idiot.
No,
I don't know anything.
But anyway, these are the characters of that book, and that is Rostam. But I put a skirt on him and make him feminine.
Feminine, yeah.
Yeah, feminine, and that is the white giant or white thief.
On the left, yeah.
So that is the whole story behind this piece, and also I use the pattern again. If you see all the
clothing.
the pattern or the similar in most of my work. My hair was longer
Yeah.
that time, and these are again the cancer cells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's what I'm looking at the moment. Now, do you feel that you can't escape the need to use the art as a reflection of who you are and what you think about and what you care about and where you're expressing yourself? So do you feel like you it's too hard to escape the fact that coming from Iran, you're inevitably going to hit this wall where part of who you are is protesting this state of affairs, this reality that you left, and now you can look back on from afar? Can you free yourself from that? And the fact that you made it as into an NFT, what does that say about the artwork? What does that say about your process, about your desires? Like, how do you explain all of this to another person to understand how you're motivated? A very complicated question.
Yeah.
Take your time. Answer whatever you want.
I think you need to make it to 3 questions. It wasn't 1 question.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, about actually, when I was in Iran, I had an amazing life. It wasn't that bad, you know. I have to say, and I had my family, friends around me. I could create art. I had a comfortable life there, but when I left Iran, I mean, the community was nice. I was with them, which I miss it every second of it. And since I left Iran, and it is not about living a bad condition. I was there. No, I had a great time there, and I wish I could have stayed there. And nobody wants to move their motherland for. I mean, even in the worst condition, you are always thinking about, oh, is my land, it is my country, and it is, you miss it every second of it, you know.
Right.
And especially living in Iran, people, we used to go party, we used to see each other, cousins, aunts, uncles, I mean, every week.
Right.
And it was, and a lot of information, also friends, a lot of information, you know, exchange, and it was live. It was live, you know. But coming out of Iran was hard for me, because I didn't have that community. I didn't have any friend. I didn't know anybody. I didn't speak English when I left Iran.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because in Iran we don't study English.
Well, why would you need to?
Yeah, and then that was very hard, and also the culture was different. People, I mean, in Iran I was very socialized. I had a lot of friends, but out of Iran, especially in Malaysia, it was very hard for me. I lived there 4 years, and second year I married, and then it was hard. I didn't have a lot of friends. I had some friends through my child play group, and half of the time I didn't understand, most of the time, not half of the time, what their conversation is about, and that was very hard for me. And then I couldn't create art because I was mother, but I started making art because when my daughter started holding brush, if you can see that painting over there, she splashed the paint with brush, and then I drew on top. And it was how I made art that time, when she was very young. Then when we moved to Hong Kong, also, I don't know how long you've been in Hong Kong, but for me, it is 8 years, and it is recently I started having a community. I mean, I used to live in that building over there, and it took me like 3 years until I found my first friend there.
Right.
And then it was a group of people,
Sure.
and then we met and we became friends. And then that art, the only thing I had was art,
Right.
making art, and
Right.
it was why I made art more and more, because
Right.
the only thing I could communicate. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
With others, and I could express myself. I didn't have any friend. I didn't have anybody. Even at work, it was work, and I
Right.
couldn't find friends like
I
that
understand.
the same way I used to
Yeah.
have. So
It definitely takes more time when you come to Hong Kong to kind of create that social network or social.
it was horrible actually coming to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Everybody's so distant.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own group, you know.
Yeah.
It is like still, I mean, if you lose the friend you have, it takes you forever
Sure.
to find another one.
Right.
You
I have
can't
no friends.
replace.
I have no idea. No friends.
No friends.
This podcast is my way of making friends. I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
No, I know you're joking. No friends. No friends. You made me cry. No friends.
Yeah. Okay, let's also step back a little bit. In that, the mission of the podcast was just to showcase creative expression, like people who do that as part of their lives and other things, but also as a way to inspire other people who may be looking, searching, wanting inspiration to kind of make the most out of their lives, right? So in your case, you're in this new place. You're not in Malaysia or here. Like you don't speak the language. You don't have the network. You use art as the release or the valve to kind of create meaning or to support yourself. But what happens if somebody's listening to this is you 5 years ago or 10 years ago? Like, what can they learn and take as inspiration from how you made sense of the world?
One thing is just continue work and don't pay attention to what slows you down. You know?
Okay.
And just create and create
Okay.
and create and as a creative person. And so for me, I mean, I start creating as soon as I could have enough time for creating.
Sure.
And that being said, it was the time my daughter started going full time to school, and at the same time I started going to work full time. But I would come back from work and start creating, and then that was the time I started creating every day,
Right.
like having a studio,
Right.
being in a studio, and then. But the only thing I have to say, just by creating, you can feel the gap or the vacant space for a creator just by
Okay.
creating.
Okay.
And you can wait. You can. You can wait for people to find you. That time
Okay.
wouldn't happen.
Right.
Maybe happen for some people. They are lucky or they have a good. Oh my!
No, it's a helicopter or a boat. It's all good. It's all good.
It's not that's
It's
loud.
great. No, I love it. No, you don't notice it until you pay attention to it, and then you realize, oh, geez, that's interesting. Okay.
Okay. You can wait. I didn't wait, and I can't wait because I didn't have. Most of the artists have the same problem as me, and there isn't space or there isn't any gallery, especially emerge artists like me. Oh my god.
It's
That
awesome.
that's like a
It's-
terminal.
Don't worry, no, it's good. This is
Boston,
home.
Boston.
This is home.
Yeah.
Okay, so say that sentence once again.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
It's cool. We're just talking.
You can't wait for people to find you. I mean, maybe you can wait, but you still need to work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and be just original yourself. Don't change because people like collector or gallery, they are interested in some other works.
Right.
So don't change. Be yourself.
Yeah.
And continue. And speaking of that, about being yourself also may hurt you as an artist.
Okay.
Because I am just one myself, and nobody else is like me.
Sure.
And it might somebody else as an artist, I may compare with them myself, and they are more successful. But
Yeah.
but it is what it is. I mean, some people, they get in any job,
Yeah.
they can get successful.
Huge success, and then others,
not. It doesn't matter they are not good
Yeah.
or the other one are better. No, it is just how it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it
Yeah.
works this way, and you can change it. And
Yeah.
then that is very depressing for artists.
Yeah.
But there were times for me, I wanted to quit and don't do any art. But that after like couple of days, I said, no, it is not me, and
Yeah.
I should do and continue.
I think artists feel the need to create. Like it's kind of like a constant. I can't help it. Like I kind of have to
like
find this. Yeah.
like condemned to
Condemned to create. Yeah, that's
yeah.
well said. Well said. Let's end it on. So you see, these hours go by really fast,
Yeah.
right? So I'm curious to know: is there a time that something happened because of your art that you would never have expected, that just kind of emerged, that something like amazing happened? Like, was there ever a result that was connected to your art that you say clearly came from my art that you would have never expected, and that was a really uplifting, positive moment?
There were a lot of uplifting, positive moments regarding my audience. They see my work, I mean, online, or they make a comment, and that is very meaningful for me. And it is something like all I want is somebody look at my art and say differently, or I make them to think about what is going on in the art, you know.
Okay.
About social media, I am not good at writing and talking about my art.
Well, you've done just fine.
No, I mean in
on social media.
in like Instagram or Twitter, or continue a conversation about my art.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, thanks to Clubhouse, now I can go and talk about my art sometimes, and that helps.
Awesome.
And for me, when people, I get a good feedback, I don't care about if I'm selling or not.
Right.
Because obviously I'm not selling, you know, that much. I mean, I sell some, but not like I live on like an artist.
Right.
They are.
Right.
How many 1% of artists in whole world they are living on? Live off the art. I'm not like that. But when I receive good feedbacks from people I care, and their opinion means to me.
Yeah.
That is the moment I say, oh, I think I did a good thing.
For me, it's like food. You know, when somebody says, somebody comes to me either for the podcast or art or anything, and it connects with them, I find that nourishing. I feel like I'm like, you know, thanks. You know?
Yeah. That is similar. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nooshin, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
This is
welcome.
great.
Thank you.
Merci.
It was good.
Merci.
خواهش میکنم.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.